Good afternoon, folks, and welcome back to Wilderness Wargaming. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing of the Strike Force Agastus box set, which I just got off Amazon. Came here. I wasn't planning on buying any more Warhammer 40,000 models for the foreseeable future, but they came out with this one with the Brutalis Dreadnought, which I really like. So I went and got it, and this is going to be probably our last new set of models here at our house for the rest of 2023, which is okay because I have a bit of a pile of shame to work through anyhow. But let's see what we got in this box. Right off the bat, I'm going to convey my great annoyance that, once again, it's the Ultramarines on the cover. Alright, so if we open her up here. Okay, now inside here it looks like we have the pretty typical box set stuff. We have bases. This is going to be the lieutenant here, Primaris Lieutenant with a power fist. Yeah, little guy. And we have here, this is probably the new Desolator missile launcher squads. I'm not too thrilled about the fact that you have to pick your missile type in advance, unlike regular missile launchers that you can't pick as you fire. Not crazy about that. And here we have, yeah, these are pretty clearly Dreadnought pieces. Got the claws there. Okay. And we got more Desolators, and then there's also some heavy intercessors in here somewhere, which is a troop squad I did not have. Don't know how much I'll be using them, but better to have them than not, I suppose. And we got a little poster. Would be cooler if it were not the Ultramarines. And oh, there's a Dreadnought base. This is another thing I hate about Space Marine products, is they always have Ultramarines transfers and nothing else. Unlike with the Sisters or Chaos Marines or anything, you don't get a selection of different transfers. You just get the basic ones. And we do have this. Ooh, this is cool. I did not know about this. Let's see what we got in here. Those are our assembly instructions. And we do have a nice fold out. Oh, we got some literature in here. I'm going to read through this later on. Almost like a little mini codex. Pretty good. Okay, so we do get some Imperial Fists, Blood Angels in there. That's good. Oh, okay. Hey, there we go, right there. Salamanders, Heavy Intercessor. So that, at least we got a little Salamanders love there. Salamanders are my chapter. Oops. And we've got our data sheets here. Okay. Now, once we get done looking at this, I'm going to go into the Brutalis Dreadnought in particular, because his data sheet is new and very interesting. We're also going to talk about the Desolation Squad, not a Desolator Squad. We're going to talk about that a little bit and see how these numbers work out. Alright, so if we pull up Battlescribe here and take a look at the Brutalis Dreadnought in this list of construction. This is my Dreadnought Mafia list. It's kind of a joke. Because the idea is you have Brayarth and Primaris Tech Marine, who's actually the Warlord because he has to be. But then I have all my other Dreadnoughts in there. And the joke is basically because Brayarth is so short compared to many of the other Dreadnought models that he's like the little short Mafia boss, and he's got his big bruisers with him. I do intend to play this list sometime, but it's not very serious. It's only a semi-serious list. It's supposed to be kind of funny. Anyhow, if we look at the Brutalis Dreadnought, okay, so let's look first of all over here. We picked the Talons, because the Talons have two profiles, and that's really great because you can either use the sweep against melee, where you're going to be hitting at strength, which is, for the Brutalis Dreadnought, 7. AP minus 3, damage 1, that's pretty good, but you're taking twice as many attacks. That'd be 10 rolls. And then, of course, your strike mode, where you're hitting at strength 14, which is pretty high, let's just say. Although Brayarth is actually even higher, but AP minus 4, damage D3 plus 3, and it gives you wound rerolls. That's pretty great, because you're basically wounding on 2s and then rolling your 1s, so that's It's nuts. Now, of course, Votan are out now, and Ignore Wounds, which is not something I'm really crazy about. Having an entire faction just ignore wound rerolls is a little rough on certain sub-factions, certain other armies, but talk about that another time. The fists, I don't think are worth it for the same price. You do lose the twin bolt rifle, so you lose a little range shooting, but you're only losing 4 bolt rifle shots total, or 8 if you're in rapid fire ranged. So that is some horde clearing capability, but nothing I'm that worried about. The fist still hits pretty hard. It's not a bad choice at all, but I think the talons are really the way to go. Up here, the real question is 2 heavy bolters versus 2 multi-meltas for 30 points. Now that's a good question. Should you or shouldn't you? Well, I'm playing salamanders, so that's already gonna kind of lean towards the multi-meltas anyhow. Okay, so if we look at our spreadsheet here and take a look at this multi-melta versus heavy bolter in terms of math, it's pretty stark. Twin multi-meltas can shoot 4 times. You're gonna hit 4 times out of 6, 3 up. You're gonna wound against another Brutalis Dreadnought, which is toughness 7. With my chapter salamanders on a 2, so that's 5 possible results. So let's take that down to 4 for a more typical chapter. Can't save because he doesn't have an invuln and he's only a 3 up armor save, so that results in a throughput of 1.7 hits that get through the saving throw every turn. Damage range of 1 to 6, and that converts into an average of 6.2 wounds inflicted per turn against an enemy Brutalis Dreadnought. Heavy bolter on the other hand does fire more shots, hits similarly, but only wounds on a 5. They're going to save half the time. Only going to convert 2/3 of the time. 2 turns out of 3, you're going to convert into a inflicting damage. Do 2 damage consistently, and that's going to convert to an expected average of 1.3 wounds inflicted per turn. That's very stark. But if we go back to the salamanders, of course, now for my chapter, it's even better because we're the Melta guys. So when you're +1 to wound on Melta and Tactical Doctrine, you're getting 7.7 damage. And then it gets even better if we come into Melta range, half range, where it's +2 damage. Now we are expecting to convert 12.2 wounds per turn. So a 30-point upgrade for about 11 more wounds per turn is absolutely worth it for me, and I'd say it's worth it even for non-Melta chapters like basically anyone else. I don't really see that there's too much of a choice. Now, let's look real quick at the Desolators and their rocket launchers. So now the thing is here, though, if you're shooting at 1 wound low toughness targets, you're killing a maximum of 5 with the crack missiles. The frag ones you do have an opportunity to get more because it's 1 damage per shot, so it's more efficient against 1 wound targets perhaps. But overall, I think the super cracks are pretty much the choice you want to take. Keep in mind that they have that other weapon. They have the Castellan launcher. So that's going to add to it. And then there's the Vengor launcher for the squad leader. Now he's going to average, we'll just put in 3.5. You see it's a D6 shots. It's normally going to hit on 3. We won't go with the indirect fire here. It's strength 6, so against a toughness 3 target, it's going to wound. Which all the time. Save. Vengor is AP -1, so we'll say it saves 1 time. And the damage for the Vengor is 2. Whoops. 2, not 202. Okay, Vengor's looking pretty good there. Now, if we switch to a toughness 4 target, it's maybe a little bit less effective, and if we put that target in cover with power armor, it's going to save Yeah, it's not. You're averaging extra wound. I don't know if that one's worth it, the upgrade or not. That one's a little borderline. Just depends a lot on what the target is. But either way, I do feel like the Brutalis Dreadnought is a fantastic addition. Um, really wish he was sold independently, not just in that box set, but he's really great. Something if you're Salamanders, pretty much auto take. So that's pretty much all I have to say on the Agastus Strike Force. And we'll be back with you for more content very soon. As always, please remember to like, subscribe, comment down below, and click the notifications bell so you can get more great stuff from Wilderness Wargaming.